Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to attempt this purpley abstracty nail art design with a center crystal placement. So we've got a couple of gel polishes, as you always do with like an abstract design. We've got Bluebell and the only one. We do have a darker shade as well here. And then you want a nudie base, so I went for Ballerina, and here we've got Monday Blues. So those are our gel polish that we're going to use today. We will have a matte top coat as well that we're going to use later on. You do also need a black gel polish. Here I've got one from Nail Nails, and then of course then the stamping plates. I've got 3 to use today. I've got here one with words that I got on AliExpress. This one's Beauty Big Bang, also AliExpress, and then we've got Maniology here, which is going to be the main abstract plate. Although the Big Bang one is also abstract. It kind of depends what kind of vibe you're going for. I went for a mix of both. We've got Sweet Lilac, Pinkabelle, I think it said, and then Funk is Life, and also Black Knight. So those are all Moyu London stamping polishes. Disclaimer, Moyu London is discontinuing their products, so just bear that in mind. If you like anything that I'm using today from their company, then definitely run to their website and pick up any bits and bobs that you may want to, because once it's gone, I think it's completely gone. Like, they're completely discontinuing their stamping range, which is such a shame because they honestly have so many. I've got millions of their products, so it's a shame that they're finishing up and just kind of going a different route. So yeah, grab yourself a bargain because everything pretty much stamping wise is on sale. So when it comes to our background shades and all that, we've got 3 nails that are going to be Ballerina, 1 nail that we're going to do a 3-way ombre between all 3 of those colours, and they ombre so nicely together. Like when you get colours that are in the same like family tree, they ombre so nice. So everything will have 2 coats. I only show you guys me doing the one on camera. And then the 5th nail is going to be a marble, and we're going to use all 3 of those purpley shade again. So with that marble, I like to start with the lightest shade first, and I like to use a brush, and I'm just going to squiggle all over my nail. Right now it looks like a hot mess, but the more and more you do it, the more and more it's going to start kind of getting shape and starting to look like a marble. So when you start going on to your 2nd, 3rd or 4th shade of gel polish, this is where it really gets to be fun, because you can actually swirl the gel polishes into one another and start to see the marble basically come to life. I always leave the darker shade till last because the darker shade is always very overpowering, so you always need less of that on the nail. So I always kind of have a little rule where I start with the lightest and kind of gradually make my way up to the darkest shade that I'm going to use in the set. So here's the marble, and you've literally got so much control over your marble and the way it looks. So it's really nice and creative and all of that kind of stuff, and you've got control, and who does not like control? So now everything's cured, we are going to apply some glitter. I've got this Hex Mix glitter here, and I'm applying some base coat just so that it helps us glue it down. And I'm going to do 3 clusters. I've been doing it quite often recently, so if you've watched any of my recent videos, you've probably seen this already, but it's really fun to do, especially when you're going to do some stamping. It's really fun when you've got these random little images on the stamping plate. It's really a nice way to kind of get them incorporated and use them. So we're doing the 3 clusters, and later on we're going to stamp on top of those 3 clusters. So that will go into the lamp for a cure. I will apply another layer of base coat just to help even out everything, and then we are on the stamping. So this is the moment where this plate here from Beauty Big Bang, it has a lot of these random abstract images that you can use, so I kind of picked up a couple that I liked. I think I mainly focus on the flowers, and then at the bottom I am going to do a butterfly, and I'm just stamping it over the glitter bits that we placed onto that nail, and that nail will then be fully done now. That's all done and dusted. That's that one done. Then the marble nail, the ombre nail we're going to leave as is because that's going to be our crystal nail, so that's going to be done later. Now on this one here that we're going to work on, I tried to kind of incorporate a couple of these lines and squiggles together and some wording, and then in a moment we're actually going to create a bit of a border and do some dots on there, which you'll see in a moment. So this is where you can really be, this is why overall I like abstract. It's such a fun, creative outlet for me. I just feel like anything you do always looks great. You can pick up random colours and just combine them all together, and it looks amazing. You can stamp things wherever you feel like it would suit, and it always just looks great. I just love doing them. I feel like I've got quite a lot on my channel. If you probably search abstract, you'll probably find quite a lot, and it's mostly always the same plates, to be honest, because this is where it's fun with stamping, where you can use one plate and just switch up the colours, switch out the placement, and you've got yourself literally like a million different sets of nails using literally pretty much the same products. It's great. and fun. And here's the moment where I'm going to do the border. So I did a couple of abstracty little stamps, and then around it I'm going to use the lightest shade, the lightest shade of gel polish purple that we had. I'm going to go around it, creating like a border, and then I'm going to colour in the outer sides. And then I think I do 2 coats just because it was sheer here and there. And then once it comes back out, we will do some dots, which I'm not sure if I do straight away or if I just continue with the stamping. Oh, I continue. Okay. So we're going to do the dots later on. But the last 2 nails are probably the ones that are most fun because they are literally full on covered with just abstract stamps. Magnology is such a lovely brand. I'm in the UK and they're a bit hard to get here. They don't ship here. So the only way to really pick some up is through some outlets of like distributors. So I literally just googled Magnology distributors, I think, on Google, and I just found a couple. I forgot the name now because it's been a while since I ordered from them, but I think it's like an American company that just sells some nail products, and I just get it from there. It's not always obviously the cheapest. I know that sometimes I go on their website and they've got these deals and it's also cheap, but I just can't get it. It won't ship here, so you kind of do have to just pay the price, unfortunately, if you really, really want their products. But their plates are really, really nice. Like I'm over the moon with them. They always pick up so great. Like they're really, really well thought through, and even the images on them are really, really nice too. So if you wanted to pick some up and you're in the UK, there's a little trick for you to get some. But often also these distributors don't have the full selection, obviously, as well as Magnology themselves would have on their website. So also bear that in mind. If you're looking for a specific plate, it may be a little bit hard for you to get. Now on to Beauty Big Bang here. This is also a really, really nice plate. The images on here are a bit less, like, I don't know how to explain it. They're abstracty, but like you don't really have the squiggles on there to use, more of the actual flowers and all that to stamp on top of abstract, if that makes sense. So both are really nice plates. I'm sure you could do something just with the one Beauty Big Bang, but I've got the two, so I could mix and match there. And then this stamping plate, I feel like I am lacking big time with words. Like I don't have a lot of plates with words, and I feel like I need it. It does really just make a difference. So if I was to just leave out the words, I feel like it would look so blank and boring, but just add some words. I don't even know, to be honest, fully what they say. As long as there's some words, it always just makes it look so much better. So we're on to the last one now. This one doesn't have any words, and I think I strictly sticked with the Magnology plate there to stamp away. If you wanted one just like Magnology, I'm sure there's a company out there that does something very similar. I'd probably check all outlets like Shein, AliExpress. You can get really good stuff on there. Like the Beauty Big Bang is from AliExpress, for example. So maybe someone did something very, very similar that you could pick up and not have to, go digging for this plate specifically. I'm sure maybe London also had an abstract plate at some point. I feel like I've seen it. I don't think I've got it myself, but again, they're discontinuing. So I would personally, if I were you, have not want to get into stamping or want to just get some new bits, run to their website whilst you still can, whilst it's still up, and then got their sale on and everything like that. And yes, and also staying with their stamping polishes, like some are pretty good, some are a bit sheer, but like you get so much in a pot, and I love them still, especially if you're gonna like reverse stamp or you're colouring your image on the stamper. Like it doesn't really matter too much if it's too sheer, because you can actually just make it a little bit more thicker on there and get that opacity in there. So it's a win-win, I think. So we're quickly doing some dots around just the border. You'll notice that I always like to do like little somethings around the borders whenever there is a border. So whether it's glitter, crystals, dots, something, it always feels a bit blank if you just leave it as is. Now we're going to matte top coat all of these beauties. So we're almost at the end of the video. I can't believe it already. We're 9 minutes in. So the matte top coat is going on. In the lamp it will go. Then we're just going to jazz up and sparkle up the ombre nail. I love how that look how seamless that ombre looks. Like there's a couple of streaks at the bottom, but apart from that, it looks really, really nice. The streaks are usually there when I don't kind of spend too much time on it, so that's why it's there. And always bear in mind, like, no one's wearing these nails. This is just for design purposes, so I never, I don't really have to worry or be too precise about the ombres because no one's wearing them. So bear that in mind sometimes. Now down the center is just my typical, I love down the center crystal placements. I've just picked up a couple of ABs, different shapes and sizes, and then I've got a bow charm in there. And this circular thing I got from AliExpress, we're going to finish it up with some more AB, and then it'll go in the lamp for a cure just to get it in place. Whenever I've got this large placement, I like to obviously straighten up as much as I can, and then off it will go in the lamp for a cure, or like a quick one. Then it's back out, and I'm going to finish it up with some caviar beads. So I'm going to do 2 little like half circular lines down the center there. As you saw, I already placed some rhinestone glue gel there. We're going to cover that all up with caviar beads, and then also caviar beads in between the crystals and charms, wherever I basically can fit one, I'll pop it there. And that'll be the very, very, very last step of the video now. That'll go into lamp for a cure, and that'll be it, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think of today's design. I feel like it's been a very long time since I've done an abstract design, and especially during the summertime, I do quite a lot of them because, you know, there's not really many themes going around other than like palm trees. That's when the abstracts come out and all sorts of different ideas come out. So you'll likely see more and more of these. And these are also fun because you could do abstract with a theme. So like hearts or flowers or Easter or palm trees, anything like that. So here's the final result. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.